Hey, welcome back to Temple of Sunshine on YouTube and templeofsunshine.com. I am so excited to present you all the ways that I have stopped procrastinating for good and teach you and just pass on that knowledge so you can use it to stop procrastinating yourself. It's not difficult. I'm not going to give you tips about discipline, hard work, vision. I'm not going to do that. This is a channel about spirituality. This is a channel about taking it easy, relaxing and enjoying life, and that's exactly what these tips are going to be about. And trust me, it works. I no longer procrastinate. That is a very bold statement for a very, very lazy girl. But I promise you, procrastination is a thing of the past because of the things that I've learned, especially through the elements of Taoism. How exciting. So, if you're new here, before we get into the video, I talk all about the law of attraction, spirituality, manifesting, affirmations, Taoism, living the best life you can possibly live. That is my absolute goal in life, to teach people life doesn't have to suck and it can be easy. So let's get straight into the video. Let's find out how to stop procrastinating. So, you're wondering, how do you get on with that essay you've been putting off for a while? How do you fold away that laundry you've been putting away for a long time in the back of your head? How do you just get on with that thing at work that your manager or your boss, whatever you call them, has asked you to do? How do you just stop scrolling on your phone? How do you break that bond you have to that phone and this very addictive social media we have? How do you stop putting things off to get things done already? So I really realized that I stopped procrastinating after a TikTok I saw of this girl asking how you can have more discipline to get things done. And she said, don't reply to this with just do it or you'll get it done, you know? And I stitched the TikTok. You can go check that out, Temple of Sunshine on TikTok if you're interested. And I essentially gave a very small summary of what I'm going to talk about today. But giving the answer to this girl on TikTok made me realize that I no longer procrastinate. And this is how I do it. So, Taoism. I have a whole series about this, but this is a simplified and English version of the Tao Te Ching. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And it's also Dr. Wayne Dyer's version, so he gives a few little affirmations on the side. One of the really key things I've learned from Taoism that's really changed my life and helped me be more productive is that forcing productivity upon myself is where I'm going wrong, right? And this may seem like completely opposite to maybe all the videos you've looked up today about productivity and stopping procrastination, or maybe this doesn't sound like what a motivational speaker would tell you. But the more pressure you put on something negative, the bigger and bigger it gets. By the law of attraction, the situation will expand. So the more you tell yourself, I am procrastinating, I am finding it difficult to get on with this task, I don't want to do it. And the more you keep telling yourself that, the more you're putting energy behind the idea of procrastinating or putting something off. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about this in terms of what you're putting your attention on. If I asked you to not think about blue elephants, you would all of a sudden start thinking about blue elephants a lot. I mean, you can pause and do this activity of trying to not think about blue elephants, imagine one first, and then maybe try and stop thinking about it. But we're going to go on because I'm sure you understand this concept of if you're trying or being told not to do something, you're going to do it more. That's just because we have that childish part of our brain that likes to challenge things. So what I learned through Taoism is that by doing nothing, a lot can be achieved. And you're going to think, what the hell? And I understand. What I've learned to do is instead of putting something off or viewing it in a negative light, what I do is I put it off until I possibly can. So if there's a deadline, of course, I make sure I'm conscious of that, but I put it off for the moment where I don't want to do it until I get inspired action to do it. I hope that that is clear. I only take action towards what I'm putting off with inspired action. And I need to break this down for you. So I just told you that the more attention you give something that you don't want to do, the worse it gets in your mind. So the more I keep telling myself, oh, I have to do this report and send it in to my manager, the more I complain about it, think about it, put negative energy behind it, the bigger and bigger it gets in my mind. And every time I go to, do the report, the more I'm going to be put off by it because I've made it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Had I just looked at my to-do list and thought, I've got to do this report, I don't fancy doing it now, but I have until Tuesday to do it, and today's Thursday, then maybe I would allow myself to forget about the report for a bit, obviously being conscious that I have a deadline, and allow myself to come back to it when I feel inspired to do it. Now, I know you're going to tell me I'm never going to feel inspired to do this report, this workout, to fold up my laundry. That is not true. When you detach the emotion or the annoyance, I'm going to call it, around a specific task. So if you detach from an essay how much you hate writing it, or if you detach from chores how much you hate doing it and just view it as a neutral thing, then it no longer has this power over you of something you don't want to do that you keep putting off. We're going through a lot of concepts here, so I'm going to keep it slow, but feel free to rewind and come back to this point if I've lost you. So now I want to go over the fact of doing nothing allows me to do more. So I'm someone who, at the beginning of 2020, when we went into lockdown, I had to quit my gym membership, and it was getting to a point that I no longer was enjoying going to the gym, right? I was really putting it off a lot, and I felt a lot of shame and guilt about the money I was wasting, but of course the fact that I was being lazy and fat and, I could just never get anything right or whatever. I tell myself these horrible things. And then throughout lockdown, people were doing home workouts, but I didn't feel inspired to do them. And I felt a lot of pressure to do something like that, to not only stay fit and make up for, all the lack of exercise I was doing at the gym, but also because everyone was doing it and I was being lazy. And this is a really terrible motivation to do something, by the way. So this is good that I can reflect on it now. So what I did was I completely put it off, and I set the intention that I would like to do home workouts when I feel inspired to do so. So weeks went on, and by the way, I know not all of you have weeks, like you have a deadline, but just be conscious of that. We'll go back to the report example. Weeks went on, I would say about 2 to 3 weeks, not too long. I was just like, I'm not going to do it for now if I don't feel like doing it. I was much easier on myself. I started to change the way I spoke to myself. I would stop telling myself, you're lazy, you're fat, you're ridiculous. I would just speak positive affirmations to myself, that I would of course feel inspired to go and work out, and that I'm healthy, I'm making good choices for myself. So the first thing you need to do is change your self-talk. If you're putting off that essay, putting up that report, maybe the first thing you need to do is stop calling yourself lazy or saying mean things to yourself, because that's not helping. Putting yourself down because of a task you've been given, that's not how we should be viewing work, school, university, our health, anything, right? And then what I did was, after a few weeks, obviously I'd set my intention, and by setting my intention, I mean I sort of speak out to the universe or whatever you believe in, that you want something. So I set my intention that I wanted to do home workouts, but I wanted to find one that was good for me and I felt inspired to do. My very good friend then came to me with a series of workouts that she was doing, and she was really enjoying it. And I was like, okay. And I felt inspired to just check it out on YouTube. It was free. I could pair it to my TV. I could just do it in my living room. And I looked it up, and it looked like something I could do. It was not one of those where as soon as you open the video, they're doing like ridiculous moves. Their legs are up in the air and they're going super fast. This was a girl that I could keep up with, had really good energy in the video, and she inspired me to get my mat out. I changed into my workout clothes that day itself, and I kid you not, for 3 to 4 months, I did her workouts every single day with pure dedication and discipline. Did this discipline come from yelling at myself and barking at myself every day? You got this, you gotta do it. You have the same 24 hours in the day as everyone else. No, it did not come from the traditional style of motivation. It came from inspired action. I enjoyed her video so much on the first day that I did it, that I never wanted to go a day without it for the next, honestly, I sustained it for a good 4 months. I'll tell you what happened after that. It's not that I've given up. I've just found something else I enjoy more in terms of exercising. But I kid you not. And I was doing stuff like really difficult moves that I used to struggle with before, even with a personal trainer. You know, I was out here doing mountain climbers and doing ab workouts all on my own accord. I was doing it without forcing myself. Every day I would plan it into my day with excitement. I was excited to do this home workout, and I'd do harder and harder ones, and I was working out harder than I'd ever done at the gym for the last maybe 5 years. I'm not kidding. And this was all because of inspired action. I have millions of examples. Let's go back to that report at work. So I don't really have to do reports, but there's lots of tasks, guys, at work where when the office was open in 2019, I remember being given something I didn't really want to do, and I'd waste time on my phone. I'd go get coffee. I'd try and waste some time before doing what I had to do. Or I remember in university sitting down with my laptop in the library watching hours of just like BuzzFeed videos and just content that I didn't need to consume when I should have been doing my uni work or my reading or just, you know, just so many things I had to do at university that I just wasn't doing. And I look back to so many things I tried. I tried the Pomodoro technique, which did help in university. It's where you work really focused for 20 minutes, you get a 5-minute break, and then you work 20 minutes, and you do it in bits of 3. So you do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes with 5-minute breaks in between. And then I think you get a longer break of either 15 to 20 minutes. You can get apps where it will do that for you. And it worked, like everything worked, but for a small amount of time. I would always recoil back into that really lazy version of myself. So what did I do that completely fixed it? Like I said to you, it was positive self-talk. It was not forcing myself to do it if I really didn't want to do it. I want to remind you that we are on this earth to enjoy ourselves. Yes, we do have to work to make money or to secure our future, and there's things where we have an amazing goal, like maybe you're at university to become, I don't know, an architect or an accountant or a nurse, and I know you have that dream and you can't wait till you're doing that job, but you got to do all this not very fun work at university before you get there. Or maybe you have dreams of being the CEO of your company, and this tiny report that you've been given just feels so far away from the kind of stuff you want to do. It's all possible. Or maybe you're a YouTuber just like me and you can't be bothered to edit and you're putting it off and you're going to miss your upload day. Just put it aside for a minute. Everyone has deadlines. You think I miss deadlines by being relaxed, by being chill? No. This is what Lao Tzu has taught through the wisdom of the Tao, in the Tao Te Ching. He says that when things are left undone, they get done anyway. And what he means by that is not some magical fairies or elves are going to come along and do it. No, just by allowing yourself and taking the pressure off these shoulders to say, I don't need to do it right this minute. Once you allow yourself that freedom, when you give yourself the freedom you crave so much, and then you realize that, okay, I can chill, I can relax. And then what you do is probably take the liberties and go chill a bit too hard. Or maybe you go off and do stuff that you'd rather do in the moment. And then later throughout the day, you'll get a little pang to just get on with what you've been putting off. And when you get that little inspiration, just that little knock in your mind, like, hey, do you fancy doing a bit of that essay? Just a few paragraphs. And when you do it, you'll get your coffee, you'll sit down and you'll just be like, words will be flowing out your fingers. And you're like, no, it's not going to happen because I really hate writing these essays. I really hate my job. I'm telling you, if you allow yourself the freedom mentally to step away from what you need to do and say, I'm going to do it later, it is my decision. You go off and do something you enjoy for a while. You're going to get sick of relaxing and chilling. That's what I got sick of not exercising. I wasn't called to exercise because I wanted to do hard work. I watched the video and I was like, hey, I can do this. I fancy doing it. And because I had so much time away from exercise back then, I was really up for it. This works with everything. And I'm telling you, I have managed to get rid of procrastination in my life. And it's that simple. It's allowing yourself to be like, I'm going to do it later, but I'm going to go and do something I enjoy now. And when I feel called to do it, I'll do it. Now, you might realize that you're never finding a calling to fold up that laundry and put it away in your cupboards. Sometimes it requires a very small amount of, just get on and do it. What you can do is, if you're really struggling to get inspired action to go and do something, I suggest that you start to view that differently. So Wayne Dyer, again, in different books, tells us that what you're viewing, the way you view it, changes the subject that you're viewing. Now, I didn't quote that word for word, and that's why it didn't sound as good as Wayne. But what I'm saying is that if you look at laundry as a really fun activity, as much as you hate it, if you're like literally lying to your brain, fake it till you make it, tell yourself every day, I love folding clothes, I love vacuuming, I love taking the dog for a walk, I absolutely love loading the dishwasher. That's my least favorite, the dishwasher, taking it out, or the plates. If you lie to yourself and literally tell yourself, this is so much fun, I absolutely love it, over time, through the power of affirmations, and of course the law of attraction can be used in these silly mundane things as well, you will actually start enjoying it. Put some headphones in, enjoy yourself, just be relaxed. Why are you always thinking about the millions of deadlines you have? Why do you, when you wake up, think of your to-do list immediately? Think about relaxing and enjoying your morning. When I do that, and when I put away my to-do list and I just trust that I'm going to get it done through relaxation and non-action, it works. There's so many emails that I forget to respond to on the day or whatever at work, and then I just am guided to reply to them when it's the best time. And when I am replying to them, this is an email that I didn't really want to reply to when I got it initially. Maybe I reply in a few hours when I'm feeling just so much more excited to do it. At no point am I buzzing to reply to a work email. I'm not going to lie to you and say it suddenly becomes my passion in life to reply. No, I'm just more easy about replying. I'm more relaxed about it, and it feels less difficult and heavy and annoying. It just feels neutral. What I'm telling you is take away the emotion you have from the activity you really don't want to do, and then you remove all its power. And this can be used for so much more serious things in life, like painful memories, your dreams, your goals. Take things off a pedestal, enjoy your life, and go back to them when you're feeling more inspired to do it. It's my final message for today. If you enjoyed this video, and if you know a procrastinator, send them this video. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.